Okay. No reverb, no. Hey y'all, welcome back to Ask Anna. Today I'm telling you the story of how I became a stripper. I actually started, this is Reaper. Reaper, say hi. Hello. I actually started in Orlando. I tell everybody that I started in Atlanta. I officially started in Atlanta, so it's like, I'm not lying, but it's not completely true either. When I was 21, I was about to graduate from the University of Central Florida in Orlando. And I was there getting my entertainment management degree. And now whenever somebody wants to give me shit about it, I just tell them that I went to school for entertainment management and now I'm an entertainer. And I was doing a lot of singing in Orlando, and I didn't want to keep staying in that city. I felt like I did the most I could while I was there. And I wanted to go to Las Vegas. That was my goal. And right before I left, I figured I should pick up the skill of stripping, just in case if I got to Las Vegas and things just got really bad for me. So I went to a strip club. It's called Stars. I was there for 2 days. The day I went to check it out, and then the day I worked there, my first and last day. I actually never got a permit though, so that's nice. There's no record of me. It was crazy too, because it wasn't until I started working there that they told me that the club had gotten shot up like a week prior. Like, I wish they had told me that like before I started there. Anyway, and they had a spinning pole too, and it's so rare now to find a spinning pole. At least in Atlanta, there's only one club I know of with a spinning pole. It's really hard to learn on, but once you get it, like, you got it, and you get addicted to it, and then you just miss the thrill of just like spinning and then hanging upside down while spinning. Anyway, Stars. And my first day there too is crazy because I worked with this guy who I went to college with. Like, we used to hang out in the same dorm room, go to the same parties, do all the same like fuck shit together. And there he was at the strip club. Like, it was crazy. Like, we both went to the same college and then we were working at the same strip club. I ended up getting traumatized by this Indian man who knew it was my first day. And he wanted to go to a private room with me. Thankfully, there was this other girl who was super sweet. She went to the private room with me. But it was still traumatizing. And I could handle it now. I could not handle it then. I could handle it very, very well now. But then I just was not experienced enough. So I would graduate, make my way over to Las Vegas, end up getting stuck in Texas for a year, hate the weather, and I came back to Atlanta. I really missed the South. Yeah, just miss the culture here. It's crazy because I have a friend now, and she's from California, and she was just telling me how crazy it was in Florida and Atlanta, and it is. And I don't really feel safe, but when I was in Texas, I was in Austin. Austin was a very, very safe city to be in. And feeling safe, when you're used to feeling not safe, you crave what you had before. It was a nice break, but I missed what I had. Like, if you grew up with the shits, then like leaving the shits, it's hard. So I came to Atlanta. Within a week of being here, I hustled my ass so hard. I went to so many places dropping off my resume and then like submitting it on Indeed. And it was a tough time. And I had 3 roommates too. That's a story for another time. I ended up having a room switch. Then the apartment complex I was in, I only stayed there for about 5 months. I was just living with a bunch of college students. It was terrible. Terrible. And like, not like nerdy college students, like ones that want to be cool. All right, stripping. So I was working at Atlanta Ballet, and it was a great time. I loved everyone I worked with. It really was a good time though. And I loved being around the dancers, the teachers, loved it. The only drawback was that it paid $13 an hour. And there were no health benefits. And then I ended up owing money back on my taxes because I was an independent contractor. That was crazy to me, actually. Getting paid $13, then filing my taxes, and then I think I only made like $3,000 from them, maybe $4,000. Like, it was nothing. And then like them saying that I owed money for taxes. Hey, it was just crazy. But that was a good time, and being around all the ballet dancers, it made me more comfortable with the stripping thing. And it was like, it felt like a calling, like something I couldn't ignore. Like, I had so much curiosity, and it felt like something I was supposed to do. And I think that's a normal thing for people to experience. It took me 2 months to learn how to twerk. I started stripping, I think in either September or October, I can't remember. I'm employed at 4 clubs in Atlanta. First club I started out at was like a very urban club. Extremely urban. I was the only white person there. Like, no white customers, no white dancers. And I ended up having a sweeper steal money from me. But apparently they steal money from everyone, so I guess I wasn't that special. But I didn't stay there very long. I was there for a month. But yeah, 2 months to learn how to twerk. And like, this simple movement, like, you have to build up your muscles to be able to shake like that. Like, my ass is mostly muscle now. It's fat too. But for it to shake, like, you have to repeatedly do that. Even if you have a nice big ass, like, you have to repeatedly do it. So yeah, it took like 2 months, and I would go to the ballet place early, and I would practice in the studios. And too, like, after everybody was like done, I would practice. It was a hustle for a long time. But I'm thankful for the switch, for sure. I support strippers. I don't think I really support people going into the industry just to like do it for whatever reason. Like, I think if you have something already going on for yourself and then you want to add this onto it, I think that's great. I'm a big believer in people keeping their day jobs. I did for 3 extra months, actually. I was working 3 jobs at one time. I was working at Hooters, Atlanta Ballet, and then I was at a specific strip club that had me on a schedule. So I was doing 3 things all at once. And I think people should keep their day jobs. I got to a point where I was comfortable enough to let that day job go, the Atlanta Ballet and the Hooters. Because Hooters, I wasn't making any money. Like, in Atlanta, they have Hooters in the middle of downtown to where nobody can get to it, and people just aren't tipping like they used to. I think it was a bigger thing 10, 20 years ago, and now it's just not. And that was another thing too. Like, there were so many points where I questioned whether or not I was supposed to be a stripper or not. And once I started working at Hooters and I was barely getting tipped for having my ass out, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I need to just go ahead and do the full thing and get more money. And not have to wear stockings that rip like every second shift. And have to buy them. Yeah. And I think it's great too, especially if you're a natural entertainer or performer. I think it's just a great thing to do. Thankfully, what I didn't really expect to happen. I've gotten a lot of respect for being a stripper, at least from people in Atlanta. Like, there's other people that are terrible, but for being in the music industry in Atlanta, it's like an added skill, and I wasn't expecting that. I'm very grateful for that. I'm very, very grateful, and I am happy that I have gone down this path. It's definitely changed a lot. The people you meet, the things you're exposed to, the things you have to deal with, like, you get the worst of people and you get the best of people, and it's a lot to deal with. Very traumatizing, and the job does take a lot of energy from you. Like, just imagine having to seduce 20 people within like 6 hours. At least 20 people. And getting them to give you money. It's a lot. And then some of them like being way too touchy, some of them being cheap, some of them like going out of their way to put you down because they feel bad the only way they can get a girl is if they pay her. But I don't regret it. I'm very happy to have this life. It's given me Reaper. It's giving me my own apartment. It's given me a lot more independence and autonomy. So, I don't regret it at all. That's my story. Again, I'm not encouraging, I'm just sharing. Bye.